Friendship, loyalty, and betrayal. On the Real Housewives of Atlanta, these are basically the show's currency. But one lie went so far, it was so toxic that it didn't just end a friendship. It got a housewife fired and created a wound that might never truly heal. T-Squad, we're talking about the story of why Porsha Williams will likely never fully forgive Phaedra Parks. This is a story about two women who called each other Freakin Frack, a ride or die duo who went through the absolute chaos of reality TV, heartbreak, and divorce side by side. Their bond looked unbreakable. But the season 9 reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta would expose a crack so deep it shattered everything, leaving viewers and the cast speechless. To really get why this betrayal cut so deep, we have to go back to the beginning, to the golden days of a friendship that once defined loyalty in the housewives world. AT Squad, happy Monday. It's me, Keisha, and I am here with a piping hot behind the scenes tea video. Yes, you guys, we are getting into Porsha Williams and Phaedra Parks. It looks like there might be some trouble in paradise with Freakin Frack, y'all. An incident went down on social media, and y'all know I am here to give you the tea. Now, if you have been living under a rock over the past 6-7 years, let me take you back to when Porsha and Phaedra were besties. Okay, y'all remember Porsha was dealing with a messy and humiliating divorce from former NFL star Cordell Stewart, while Phaedra was handling the fallout from her husband Apollo Nida's shocking legal problems and eventual prison sentence. The two found anchors in each other. They were both Southern belles with the same sense of humor, a love for nice things, and what seemed like a deep understanding of what the other was going through. Plus, they both bonded by their relentless shading of their castmates, specifically Kandi and Kenya. Their support for each other was a huge storyline. When Porsha was down, Phaedra was there to lift her up, giving her legal advice, a shoulder to cry on, and a quick-witted comeback to deflect the pain. When Phaedra's world was a mess, Porsha stood by her, defending her from the group's judgment and offering a much-needed escape with laughter and shenanigans. But the beginning of the end didn't start with a bang, but with a whisper. During season 9, a seriously dark rumor started making the rounds. The rumor claimed that Kandi Burruss, a multimillionaire, Grammy-winning songwriter, and a respected figure on the show, had a secret plan. The allegation was that Kandi and her husband Todd Tucker wanted to smug Porsha Williams and their friend Shamia Morton to take advantage of them schmexually. Baby, this was a mess. This was a mess. As the rumor spread throughout the season, Porsha stood her ground. She said she was just repeating a warning she got from a credible source, someone she trusted completely. She got a ton of backlash for repeating such a damaging claim, not just from Kandi, but from other cast members and the public. But she kept doubling down, believing she was speaking her truth and exposing something dangerous. Yes. The accusation itself was a bombshell that just kept going off all season. Porsha was up here thinking that she was armed with a horrifying truth and confronted Kandi. She told the story with the conviction that showed she believed it 100%. She told Kandi and everyone watching that she'd been warned about a plot to smug and violate her. Yes. But at the season 9 reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, one of the most explosive episodes in the show's history, and in my top 2 of the biggest moments during a Housewives reunion ever. For weeks, the big question was, who started the rumor? As Andy Cohen and the cast kept pushing for an answer, the pressure built until Porsha finally broke. In a raw, tearful moment, Porsha looked at Phaedra and confessed to Kandi and the world that Phaedra was the one who told her everything. But the real bombshell wasn't just that Phaedra was the source. Porsha revealed that Phaedra had claimed to have heard the information directly from Kandi herself. Yes, it was, as Andy Cohen called it, a megawatt lie, which resulted in Phaedra being fired from the show and Porsha being ostracized from the girls. The following season, in season 10, it was a comeback redemption apology tour season for Porsha. And after that, it took time, but her and Kandi were able to rebuild a friendship. But I think that Kandi always had one eye open and one eye closed when it came to Porsha after that. And she made it known that she would not be on the show if Phaedra was on the show. That is why once Kandi decided to leave the show after season 15, Phaedra was welcomed back, to most of our chagrin. And that leads us to my story today. Since Phaedra has been back on our screens, and whenever the topic of what happened in season 9 comes up, she has always avoided the question. She has refused to answer it. She skates around it, but she has never once fully addressed it. So recently, when she sat down with Jason Lee on the Hollywood Unlocked podcast, he grilled her on the subject. And this is what she had to say.
But now you're back in the show with Porsha.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is I was punished for something no one even saw me do. It's like telephone.
Right.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah, but now you're back with Porsha.
Yeah, I'm back.
And now you're friends.
Well, we really, we obviously, that bothered me. Obviously, it was very, somewhat hurtful. But at the end of the day, I really love Porsha. We have always, gotten along perfectly. And so even after that moment, we didn't say, oh, I'm never speaking to you again. Because at that moment, I knew I wasn't happy in the job already. And I knew it was time for me to leave this job. But unfortunately, sometimes when, if you can't make a decision for yourself, God will make a decision for you.
But now you're back.
Decision for yourself, God will make a decision for you. And so the decision was made. And, I have never had a better 7 years in my life.
You were gone 7 years?
Yeah.
Damn. Wait, Phaedra, you took the hit. You took the hit for America. For what? I was so mad at you for sitting there and letting the charades happen in front of all of us.
But they didn't show what was really said.
Clearly.
Yeah. Because that's the contract. And sometimes you just got to realize, okay.
I'm going to just stay within the four corners.
Yeah, because I know better and I'm trained, and so I'm held to a higher standard than some of my colleagues because they know I know better. And so sometimes when you're a little smarter than the average bear, it doesn't always help you.
Okay.
Decision for yourself. God.
I'm sitting here with a litigator, so let me bring out my briefs. This is what happened. I remember Porsha had the really short hairdo that day, and she was going on and crying about how you told her information, and you sat there, and I will never forget your face. You were beat for the guys, and you sat there and just wrote it out, and Kandi played up this whole thing that Kandi could not believe what was being said about her, which we're now hearing more about the bedroom as time has kind of progressed, and the world has become more accepting of people's bedrooms being different.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but you gave a lot of grace. Again, this is another example. Why? Got it. I'm sitting here with a litigator, so let me.
Oh, okay, but Sheree, she's not back in the show now.
No, she's not.
We need Sheree back. We need Sheree.
Yeah.
We need Sheree. You. We need. What about Claudia Jordan?
I think she only did one season.
I know, but she and you all are both quick. Did you like? Were you in the show when she was there?
Yeah, I was.
Did you like her when she was there?
One season is hard to make an opinion because that's.
Phaedra, did you like her?
I can't really say I had any opinion at all, to be honest, because it was so short-lived. I mean, but the things that make a wonderful housewife.
I can't deal with you.
I mean, no. I mean, I don't know Claudia that well, but you know, the components of a great housewife is obviously to have a job, some wealth, children, or relationships that can be obviously seen on television. You know, so, you know, if you're missing something.
Oh, okay, but Sheree, she's not.
It's not a good match.
Phaedra. Okay, what about Eva Marcel?
Oh, I love.
So when Porsha got wind of this, she took to the comment section on one of the blogs and added Phaedra, saying, "You already apologized at the reunion and apologized after for telling me the lie. Furthermore, I have already taken accountability with Candy for repeating what you claimed she said. Let's move forward by truly learning from past mistakes." See, this situation is never going to be over until everybody is truthful about the situation. There is still a huge skeleton in the closet that has not been pulled out, okay, and revealed. Until Phaedra vehemently explains what she did, why she did it, her involvement, this situation will continue to fester. Do I believe that Porsha was this wounded bird that had no idea she was being lied to and used? I go back and forth because a part of me feels like she was manipulated and played by Phaedra because she is dissy and dumb. The other half of me feels like there was a part of her that kind of maybe knew that it wasn't all the way factual and she just decided to run with it because that season she decided to have issues with Candy. But the fact that 7 years later Phaedra still will not fess up to whatever her involvement was screams you're not trying to protect Porsha. It's screaming you're still trying to protect yourself because you don't want that stigma of you doing something so vile to someone else to be associated with you and your persona, your legacy, and all of that stuff. Because what you did was criminal. And I think that Jason Lee downplayed the situation. It's just not about what people do in their bedrooms. We all been knew that Candy is a freak and that she likes women and that she likes threesomes and things of that nature. That had already been said. Nobody cares about that. It was the implying that Phaedra told Porsha that they wanted to drug and grape her. That's the big situation here. So I didn't really care for Jason Lee like downplaying that. I don't know if he forgot how the situation really went, but that is what she allegedly claimed to Porsha that Candy and Todd wanted to do to her. And I think that with Phaedra, if she ever admits fully that she did that, she knows that her name will be tarnished forever. We all know that that's what happened, but she'll never admit it. And it's not because she's trying to protect Porsha. She could give a rat's ass about Porsha. She honestly could. That's if Porsha actually had more to do with the situation, in my eyes, she would have been told on her. Been told on her. She wasn't gonna take that on the chin and just be like, all right, I might have not been, in this on my own, but I'm just gonna go ahead and, take the rap for both of us. Girl, bye. Phaedra don't care that much about nobody else, especially not no goddamn Porsha Williams. But I wonder how this is gonna leave their friendship. I can see after Porsha posting this, I could very well see Phaedra hitting her up, calling her, trying to calm the situation down, because we all know that they need each other. Honestly, they need each other as allies, just like they needed each other as allies 7 years ago. So she's going to make sure she rectifies that relationship with Porsha. And Porsha was basically telling her to keep it cute, no mute. Okay, homegirl. But this is going to be something that will follow Phaedra until she just cops to it. And she never will. She will never cop to it. Once again, this is just another reason why they should have never brought her back. Never. She should have continued to do girls trip or reality competition shows, but as far as being on Housewives or Married to Medicine, it's not working. It's not working because the veil has been lifted off of Phaedra. We no longer look at her like this Southern Belle, woman about town, religious woman. We all know she's a whore. She is skank, scallywag, lying, manipulative, vindictive person. She can't uncover that. The veil has been lifted. So the whole persona is now gone. That's what made her so funny. But now that we see her for who she is, that's why the jokes ain't landed no more. The charisma is gone. Like the whole thing that made her special is gone. And Bravo needs to, cut ties. They tried, it failed, and just accept it. Just like they had to accept it the 3 times they brought Sheree ass back. They tried. It never freaking worked. And it's never going to work with Phaedra because she is fake. Okay? So what y'all think about this? Y'all think that the crack in their friendship is going to continue to widen going into season 17? Or do you think they're going to sweep this underneath the rug and pretend to continue to be such good friends and we're fine? Child, let's talk about it down below in the comment section, y'all. What y'all think about this interview? What do y'all think about Porsha's response? What do you think is going to happen with their friendship? Or can we even classify their relationship as a friendship? Because Phaedra pretty much alluded in that interview that they weren't really friends like that. Child, girl, Let's talk about it, y'all. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.